When you upgrade to a simpler piece of technology, well, you naturally expect the upkeep to drop.
Right, of course.
Like you trade a complicated mechanical watch for a digital smartwatch, and you never have to pay a jeweler to clean the tiny gears ever again.
Exactly.
And looking through this stack of automotive industry reports and EV owner forums, that was definitely supposed to be the promise of the electric vehicle. So, welcome to this custom deep dive. Today, our mission is exploring the hidden and, frankly, baffling dark side of EV maintenance.
Yeah, because the mechanical complexity is virtually gone. I mean, if you look at the data, EVs have 70% fewer wear parts than traditional gas cars.
Wow, 70%.
Yeah, we are talking about just 6 moving components in the drivetrain compared to, well, 24 or more in an internal combustion engine.
That is a massive difference.
It really is. And mathematically, that simpler architecture is projected to offer a 42% savings on maintenance for you.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if I only have 6 moving parts, there is physically very little for a mechanic to actually maintain. So why are the service bills you are facing suddenly skyrocketing?
Well, the root cause isn't the car itself. It is a completely panicked business model.
Panicked how?
Traditional dealerships make a massive chunk of their profit from the service center. You know, the endless cycle of oil changes, spark plugs, timing belts.
Ah, right. All the stuff EVs just don't have.
Exactly. Because those traditional revenue streams are vanishing, dealerships are essentially trying to turn EV owners into an ATM to compensate for the lost margin.
Wait, I'm struggling to understand how they can even do that. Like, if the mechanical parts aren't there, are they just making up fake maintenance milestones?
Pretty much, yeah. The industry reports highlight this phenomenon insiders actually call the golden filter.
The golden filter?
Yeah. So a basic cabin air filter costs about €12 online. But dealers are taking that exact same filter and billing it at €70.
You have got to be kidding me.
I wish I was. They hide the markup on the invoice under a vague label like specialized EV maintenance. And they're also charging up to €40 for a simple battery health check.
But wait, isn't a battery check just plugging the car into a computer?
It is. It takes exactly 30 seconds to read the diagnostic code.
30 seconds.
Yeah, but because the car's software is proprietary and locked behind dealer-only access, they hold a total monopoly on that information. They can charge you whatever they want just to press a button.
That is wild.
Yeah.
It's like a traditional video store trying to charge you a rewind fee for a digital download.
That is a perfect analogy.
They are applying old-world maintenance logic to a machine that physically doesn't require it. And looking at the forums, the craziest part is that budget city cars, like the Citroen EC3 or the Dacia Spring, well, they can sometimes cost more to maintain at a dealership than premium vehicles.
Which brings up a massive structural issue. We really have to ask if this is malicious price gouging or if they just have no idea what they're doing with these new machines.
So you think it might just be ignorance?
Well, the reality is there is a severe competence gap. The transition to electric happened way faster than the workforce could adapt. Working on an EV isn't just turning a wrench anymore.
Right, it is basically a computer on wheels.
Exactly. It involves serious electrical engineering. In Italy, for example, mechanics are legally required to hold a specialized high-voltage certification, the PES-PAV under DL 8108, just to even touch the core components.
Okay, makes sense.
But a shocking number of official workshops just don't have technicians with that credential yet.
Wait, we always assume the official dealer is the safest bet, but you are saying right now the passionate customer sitting at home actually knows more than the certified mechanic.
The forum stories strongly suggest that, yeah, there are documented records of dealers trying to sell prepaid oil change plans to EV owners.
Oil changes for a car without oil.
I know. We also see mechanics mistaking totally normal heat pump noises for catastrophic failures.
Yeah.
Or consider software limbo, which is when cars get trapped in the shop for weeks because an over-the-air update failed.
Oh, and the technicians lack the training to just force a system reboot.
Exactly, and sometimes that confusion creates a smokescreen for actual fraud. The sources cite a wild case from a U.S. forum where a Chevy Bolt dealer sold a used EV as a new one.
Wait, really? Why?
Specifically to pocket a $7,500 tax credit, basically banking on the buyer not understanding the complex paperwork.
That is completely insane. So the traditional dealership model really hasn't adapted at all, which means the responsibility to protect your wallet falls entirely on you. the listener.
It really does. But the actionable takeaway from these sources is clear. First, always check the official online portal for your car brand and screenshot the standard service price before you walk in.
Sure.
Second, under consumer protection laws, specifically Article 1759 of the Civil Code, you have the legal right to demand a written quote up front before they do any work.
Right, and don't forget, you aren't trapped at the dealership either. Under EU Regulation 2002-1400, you are legally allowed to take your EV to an independent, certified shop without voiding your warranty.
Exactly. Companies like Nerato are already stepping up, offering immediate, transparent online quotes to bypass these dealership games completely.
That is so good to know.
Yeah, and if we step back, this raises a massive question for you to consider. If the traditional dealership model relies so heavily on the mechanical inefficiency of gas cars to survive well, what happens to the entire global auto repair industry when EVs become the absolute majority?
Wow.
Yeah, when they simply don't need regular mechanical repairs anymore.
That is an enormous economic paradigm shift just waiting to happen. Well, to wrap up, thank you so much for tuning into this deep dive.
Yes, thank you for listening.
And if this was helpful, please share your own dealership experiences on the forums to help combat this wave of misinformation. Because right now, you might not have to pay a jeweler to clean those tiny digital gears, but unless you are careful, the dealership will certainly try to charge you a premium for polishing the glass.